Hello guys, how are you today? I'm Miss Suzanne Gabr. In this video, we'll study Unit 1, Periodicity of the Elements and Their Properties. Lesson 1, Attempts of Elements Classification. Scientists and chemists have discovered many elements and tried to collect and classify these elements according to their properties. Why scientists thought about classifying of elements according to their properties? In order to facilitate their study, find the relation between the elements and their chemical and physical properties. Okay, let us take a journey and look at the earlier attempts of classification of the elements. The most important attempts are Mendeleev periodic table, Moseley periodic table, and modern periodic table. Okay, Mendeleev periodic table. There were only 67 elements, and Mendeleev classified the elements into table in ascending order according to atomic weight. In his table, he left spaces or gaps for the future discovery of a new element. So, he left spaces for the future discovery of a new element. Why? Because he predicted the elements to be discovered later. And also, he determined the atomic weight and correct some of the elements' atomic weight. One more time. Mendeleev periodic table. Mendeleev classified elements in his table according to the ascending order of the atomic weight. Left gaps, determine and correct wrongly atomic weight. How Mendeleev classify elements? Mendeleev did the following. He prepared 67 cards. Each card represents an element. He recorded the name of each element in each card with each atomic weight and important properties such as boiling point, degree of fusion, and density. And during classification of elements in his table, he make a disturbance in the order, in ascending order, to put the elements in its suitable properties. So, he preferred to put them in wrongly ascending order of atomic weight, but in correct properties. So, the Mendeleev periodic table has this advantage. The disadvantage of Mendeleev periodic table, he had to make disturbance in ascending order of atomic weight. And also, he can't deal with isotopics. What is isotopics? The isotopics is different atoms of same element. Different atoms of same element. Each has the same number of protons, but different numbers of atomic weight or the atomic mass. So, the second disadvantage of Mendeleev periodic table, he had to consider the isotopics of elements of one element as different elements. Example for hydrogen. He thought that hydrogen is different three different elements. But in fact, hydrogen is the same element with different atomic weight and same protons, numbers of protons or numbers of electrons. We will know it later. Okay. So, one more time, the advantage and disadvantage of Mendeleev periodic table, the first real attempts of classification of elements. The advantage: left gaps determine and correct atomic weight. Disadvantage: disturbance of ascending order of atomic weight and can't deal with isotopes. After Mendeleev, there was many scientists try to improve the periodic table and improve and make suggestion of a better arrangement, such as Rutherford. Rutherford discovered the nucleus of the atom. The nucleus of the atom contains positive charge of proton. So Rutherford discovered the nucleus with the positive charge of proton. Then Moseley periodic table. Moseley arranged the elements in ascending order according to atomic number. Also, Moseley add zero group. What is a zero group? Zero group is group contain inert or noble gases. So he make a group and named noble gases zero group. He make also two groups below the periodic table and named lanthionide and actinide elements. Moseley make and add the zero group and make two groups below the periodic table and named by lanthanides and actinides. And this is a time for Bohr. Bohr discovered the main energy levels of the atom and their numbers reached 7. So he discovered the main energy level. How many energy levels in the atom? 7 in heaviest atom. Scientists has discovered that each main level contain numbers of sublevels. Finally, we have periodic table, modern periodic table. The periodic table of elements has been arranged in ascending order of their atomic number. The arrangement of these elements make a matrix form. There are 118 elements in total. So in modern periodic table we have 118 elements spread out on the table in matrix format. Divide into row and columns. So let's learn about the modern periodic table. The elements are classified in the modern periodic table according to their atomic number and the way of feeling the energy and sub-levels shell. So this is the modern periodic table. Description of the modern periodic table. It contains 7 horizontal periods and 18 vertical groups. 7 periods, 18 groups. Repeat after me. 7 periods, 18 groups. As we see in this figure, we have S, B, D, F. S, B, D, F. S with 2 left. S with 2 left. What is this? S block elements located in the left side of the modern periodic table. Arrange it in 2 groups. Arrange it into 2 groups. Then we have B located on the right side of the modern periodic table. Arrange it in 6 groups. 6 groups. And in the middle we have D block element. D block element located in the middle of the modern periodic table. Arrange it in 8 groups. Finally we have F block elements located below the periodic table, contain lanthanides and actinides. So we have S2 left, B6 right, D10 middle, starting from 3B to 8 and 1B, 2B, named by transitional elements. Finally, we have 2 below lanthanide actinides. One more time, we have to save this in this way. S2 left, S2 left, B6 right, B6 right, D10 middle, D10 middle, F below lanthanides and actinides. Let's take a zoom block in this figure to save and know the details about the modern periodic table. As we see, we have S block elements start from 1A. So it named by 1A, this group 1A. Then we have 2A. So S block elements contain 2 groups. 2 groups. So S2, 2 ventricle groups. 2 ventricle groups. B6 in the right side start from 3, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, and 7. And the final group, 0 group. Do you remember the 0 group? It's named by noble gases. So 0 group contains noble gases. And in the middle we have D block elements. D block elements contain 10 groups, 10 ventricle groups, start from 3B, 3B, and continue 4B, 5B, 6B, 7B. So start from 3B to 7B. Then 8 groups with 3 groups individual. So we have 8 with individual 3 groups. Then we have to complete the 10 groups of D block with 1B, 2B. So we have D block elements start from 3B to 7B. Then we have the 8 group contains 3 groups, 3 ventricle groups. Then we complete with 1B, 2B. Finally, we have the F block elements. F block elements contain the lanthanides and actinides. To understand more, take a look of this figure. So we have 1, 2, S. So S block, 2 left, B block 6 right, B block 6 right, D block 10 middle, F block below lanthanide and actinide. So elements have groups named such as 1A, 3A, 3B. Also, elements in the modern periodic table has modern numbers starting from 1 to 18. One more time. The modern periodic table has groups named 1A, for example, 3A, 3B, 4B, and also the elements in the modern periodic table have modern numbers starting from 1 to 18. So, for example, we have S block 1A and 2A, and also the modern numbers 1 and 2. B start from 3A, also 3A in the modern number equal 13. How we can calculate the difference between S and B? Between S and B, we have, very good, D block. The D block contains 10 elements. So we have 1, 2, and complete with the D block 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 12. Then we start with B block. So B block start the new number 13. So 13 and add the 6 groups of the B. So it ends with 18. And also 18, if you remember, we have 18 is the zero group, the noble gases. Let's take another look at the banner of the modern periodic table. So as we say before, we have S block 1A, 2A, and start from 1, 2, and in the middle D with 10 groups, and complete with 13 starting the B. So elements belonging to particular group make a family. Elements are arranged in ascending order of their atomic number. So modern periodic table contains groups. How many groups in the modern periodic table? If we count the 2 groups for the S block and add 6 groups of the B block and the 10 for D block, and the elements belonging to particular groups make a family. So, as we say before, we have S block, B, and D, and finally we have F. If we count and add 2 for S and 6 groups for B and 10 groups for the D block, the sum of these groups equals 18. So the modern periodic table contains 18 ventricle groups, 18 groups. And the modern periodic table has 7 horizontal periods. 7 horizontal periods. For example, we have the first period in horizontal contain H and He, H hydrogen and helium. The next period contain lithium. So the second period start with lithium. Then we have the third start with sodium. Fourth start with potassium. And if we note the D block starting from the fourth period. So one more time. D block start from the fourth period.